So
No,
I'm just
it's their
saying,
only choice. That's why. It's their only choice.
It's
It's
not
still
their
better.
only choice.
It's still better than letting him walk for nothing.
Nah,
Harden's a top 15
listen.
player, like you guys said. There's obviously going to be other suitors involved. It's not just
But
Sixers.
dude, the perfect thing right now is it's this is all up to James Harden. James Harden has all of the leverage. If James Harden is like, I want to go to Philly, Brooklyn has to send him to Philly.
I disagree with that. Brooklyn they have the freaking check mark. They're not just going to be like, here
what's
you
the
go.
better package? What's the better package? Then listen, all the things I hate about Ben Simmons. He can't play in the fourth quarter because he can't be that guy. You're giving him two of the best players of all time.
But
what's a better fit than that?
But does KD like Harden or something? Do they have like a thing
going on? I don't think KD
on?
likes anybody.
Yeah, KD doesn't like Ben Simmons. I know that.
Exactly.
Exactly. But they're athletes, though, dude. Like they're professional athletes.
But
like
but as a GM, your back is against the wall. That's the best package you're going to.
So you're going to let your rival out and accept a deal with someone who's not willing to work with you and be fair with you. They're basically Daryl Morey's like, oh, give Ben Simmons a quitter and then Danny Green an old fuck, and I'm not doing anything else. Why would they be like, oh yeah, I'll just take it because we're screwed? Like,
because
I think they would just let him walk.
What did they trade for Harden? So they're basically not letting Harden walk, but they're letting everything walk. And your team isn't getting better at all. The worst case scenario is you trade for Ben Simmons and your team at least improves that much, or at least gets worse a little bit by that much, instead of losing Harden just to lose Harden. In the NBA landscape nowadays, you cannot just lose players in the offseason. That's why the Celtics suck, because they just lost Gordon Hayward. They just lost Kyrie Irving. At least the Sixers went out and traded for Josh Richardson, because that in turn got Seth Curry. And, we have our gripes with Seth Curry, but it's better than not having Seth Curry and having nobody. You need to get stuff. It's always about value, maximizing value. You can't just let people walk. That's not how free agency should be anymore.
That was a good
But
one.
also, as much as I hate Ben Simmons, the best way to hide his deficiencies is to put him on a team with elite scorers.
Yeah, I mean, if Ben can do it,
it's a perfect situation. And then he wins and he thinks he's right, and then I'm pissed about it, but it's the best situation for everybody.
I know. I was listening to Twitter Spaces all day, and I was
there you go. That's your problem.
And they were talking about how they're looking past Ben Simmons. They're looking at the Maxis, the Thibels, and I know they're not the GMs. I know they aren't. But I'm just saying, if I'm Brooklyn, I'm not settling for just Ben Simmons and Danny Green. If I'm a GM, that's just me. And I think if Daryl Morey's trying to, finesse them, I think he's just walking out. I think the Brooklyn GM's just walking out and he's going somewhere else because he doesn't want to help out a top team in the Eastern Conference. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I think you're giving him more opportunity than he has.
But once again, first, I remember 3 days ago, everyone saying Ben Simmons has no value, all this, blah, 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 blah. And now all of a sudden he has value to get James Harden.
Yes.
Because he's on an expiring contract and he wants to leave.
No, you're saying Simmons. Yeah, dude, the thing with Ben Simmons not playing is people massively undervalue him, and I understand why, right? But at the end of the day, Ben Simmons is a plus player. He is a plus defender. Offensively, he has his moments in transition. If you can find a team that can utilize him in that way, in a way that Philadelphia has never been able to do, Ben Simmons can maximize his value more than Philadelphia did. He's going to be a better player in other systems rather than playing next to Embiid.
But that's a big what if.
But it's not.
That's a big really what if. It's been 5 years in the playoffs where he's been trash. So why not just ride it out with Harden and bring back Kyrie, be a part-time player, and do that rather than trade for Ben Simmons, who hasn't even played at all. Harden's not going to come back. He hasn't touched the floor. He's shown no willingness to play.
We're talking about if Harden wants to leave. That's what we're talking about. Like, you don't have the option.
I'm saying as a Brooklyn Nets GM, why am I taking a risk for Simmons?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
I have James Harden, KD, and Kyrie available. I know it's their circumstance, but why am I taking that chance on Simmons, Kyrie, and KD when I just have Harden for the rest of the year?
Let me ask you a question. So Kyrie Irving and James Harden are both expiring contracts at the end of the season. Would you rather trade Harden for Ben Simmons and maybe Kyrie resigns, or are you willing to take a risk on only winning it this year and losing Kyrie and Harden for nothing in the offseason?
Wait, repeat that. I kind of zoned out.
All right. Kyrie and Harden are both expiring deals at the end of the year. Are you
All right.
willing to trade Harden for Ben Simmons? Or would you rather go for it this year with the Nets team as is, and at the end of the season, if you don't win it all, you lose Kyrie and Harden for nothing?
I'd rather just go for it all than doing the what if
They're on a
game for Ben
7-game
Simmons.
losing streak, dude. They're the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference right now.
Chris is on the other side. Do you want to put Simmons in a good situation and lose to him in the play?
I'll believe that when I see it.
But like, does Katie and Kyrie magically fix Ben Simmons' inability to be effective in the half-court offense?
No,
in the
but
fourth
not
quarter?
having a center who demands the ball.
Yes.
That's what
Yes,
it is.
it does.
It's
Two
not that
elite
who else
half-court
did they
players.
have?
Yes, it does.
But he's
It's-
still trash in the half court.
He
Yeah, but
doesn't
it's-
have to have the ball in the half court.
And you're
Ben
talking
Simmons
about
in the dunker
James
spot?
Harden being an elite ISO player, all this. So why would you give him up for a guy who has shown no willingness
because
We're
you have
saying
step on
this
the
assuming
court
he wants to
and
leave.
have
be a
two guys.
trash teammate?
You have two guys that already do it. You already have two James Hardens. It's not as much of a loss for them as it is for other teams. You have two of the generational ISO scorers. You have KD, dude. He's the greatest scorer of all time. You don't need Harden. You really don't. You need defense. You need somebody who can stop the best player on the other team, which you don't have, and Ben Simmons does at a high level. And you need a dude who can at least play the dunker spot. You can put Ben at the 5 for all
Yeah,
they
but
care.
this is a team that was
small ball
supposed.
five. Run him.
This was a team that was supposed to run the East for years. That's what their fan base is thinking.
Yeah, that was before they got together and
So why
realized
is the
this was
GM just going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to trade Harden for Ben
Because he
Simmons, who
realized we
hasn't
were
even been
right.
there?
because they're bottom 5 in defense every single season.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here because like all of a sudden Ben Simmons getting all this value out of nowhere.
No, but really not. I mean, dude, look at Morey. Morey's like, if he's not a top 25 player, I'm not
But
trading. him.
like,
That's his
so
point. He's trying to remind you of the value.
so you're telling me you want to run it with Ben Simmons, KD, and Kyrie rather than Harden, who you guys are saying is a generational scorer and great in the play. Well, not great in the playoffs, whatever. Harden, KD, and Kyrie. Why not give it one more last chance? Because when they were healthy in the playoffs last year, they probably would have beat the Bucks.
because they played 16 games together. James Harden doesn't want to be there, and I'm not. I just don't know.
And Rob,
He
you
thinks
keep
the risk
ignoring the
is
fact
good.
that James Harden doesn't want to be there. There's no if
Yeah, but
we're
that doesn't
saying this,
matter.
We're
It
saying
does.
this assuming
Why does
we're
the
saying
GM? Why?
Ben's there for 4 years.
No, we're
dude.
saying this assuming there's not another chance of bringing James Harden back. Nobody would choose Ben Simmons over James Harden. It's
Not even Ben
that's
Simmons.
it's that they're going to be forced to have to choose, and that's the best package available.
See,
Yeah.
I'm role playing as the Brooklyn GM. I'm forcing James
All
Harden
right,
back.
so
Why
James
is
Harden
James
wants
Harden
out.
just get to all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, I'm not playing? Like
'Cause he's
that's like
James
what Ben
Harden.
Simmons is doing.
because
Ben
that's how
Simmons can't do that because he's not good.
the
James
player
Harden can
empowerment,
do
bro.
that.
it's
But
player
I don't-
empowerment.
Why would the Nets GM allow that? Why can't he have big boy balls like Daryl Morey?
Because it's not.
Now I'm
because
turning
their
into a
position,
Daryl Morey
dude.
fan.
Dude, we
And I
had
hate
Ben
his
Simmons.
NFT ass.
We had Ben Simmons for 4 years. If Ben Simmons was an expiring contract, he would not be in Philadelphia at this point. I promise you, he would have been traded in the offseason. I promise you, he wouldn't have the asking price that he has now.
But the
So-
thing is, they didn't have Kyrie in the beginning of the year either. Remember that. And they were first in the East with Harden and KD. KD got hurt, and Harden started bitching because he can't win on his own. So as a GM, you're looking at it logically. When KD and Harden were healthy, they were the best team in the East, were they not? So why should I just give them up?
Because he wants to leave.
Yeah,
But
That's
why
what
does he
I'm
want to
saying.
leave
That's
all
it.
of a sudden?
I don't know.
I don't
Ask
know.
him.
We're not
You're,
talking
you're
about
the
that.
GM. Have a sit down and talk to Harden.
I want to like what? That's why I don't. It doesn't. They're going to be asking for more
I
than
don't think
Danny
it's a
Green
secret.
and
Like
Ben
I don't
Simmons.
think play. I don't
Well,
think
it
players.
depends, Romp. I
They're
think a week
not just
ago,
going to be
yeah.
like Danny Green is okay and Ben Simmons is okay. That's my thing. They're not going
think a
to
week
do that. I'm
ago-
telling you.
I think a week ago, you're right, Romp, but I think it's changed. That's the player empowerment. Players go wherever the fuck they want to go. That's how it works. And if a player comes out and is like, I want you to send me to this team.
Why are people saying I
If
don't
Ben
like
was on,
Harden?
if Ben was on the last year of his
You're
deal,
wrong.
if Ben was on the last year of his deal, there would be no threat. He would be traded at the trade deadline. If he was on the
Yeah.
last year of his deal, he'd be traded.
Yeah.
You have
you-
to get value in
You get
return. You have
what
to.
you get what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah, I get what
putting
you're
my
saying, but
head
that's
into
not
a
how it
Nets
is.
Do you get what I'm
That's
saying
just-
though?
Yeah, but that's
Here's
not
what's
how
going to
it is.
happen too. Here's what's going to happen too. Players don't. It's not like he's going to keep it a secret and be like in the back of his mind. Well, I'm going to leave at the end of the season, but I'm not going to tell anyone. He's obviously going to go to the office and be like, "Hey guys, listen, I'm letting you know I'm fucking leaving at the end of the season." That's what happens. Players aren't assholes. Like they're honest with you. They're like, "I'm going to give you a chance." That's why sign-in trades happen. I'm going to give you a chance right now to get something in return for me because I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like that's what happens.
I'm gonna say this: Harden's a bitch. It's like the same. It's
So is
basically the
Ben.
same thing as
So
the
is
Ben
Ben.
Simmons.
Trade a bitch for a bitch.
It's trade bitch for a
Personality-wise,
bitch.
sure, he's way better than Ben Simmons. So I'll
That is
trade
true.
him.
He's a better fit too. I'm
But,
just
like, James Harden at his worst is better than Ben Simmons and wherever the hell he is.
I mean, I just don't get, like, they were the first in the East, and now Kyrie came back, and KD got hurt. That's the biggest thing. And now they suck, and now James Harden's just, I went out. And now we have hope. I mean, haven't we done this before with Kawhi Leonard? Everybody, every superstar at the
Dude,
deadline,
don't
and then it never
compare.
happens.
You can't compare. Daryl Morey and James Harden, you can't compare.
Oh, yeah, they do
It's
things
nothing
behind
like it
closed
is now.
doors.
Morey has done more. We were that close last year to send a maxi for him, and then he was like, "Nah." And how
That
much
was a
shit
good
did
move.
Daryl Morey get? If Daryl Morey can find a way to get James Harden and keep Tyrese Maxey, he's a genius. And I want everyone that has ever
Yeah,
doubted him.
I
to be
will.
backwards.
I'll get on my knees. I will. If he pulls off a Ben Simmons for Danny Green, I'll get on my knees.
What,
Yeah.
Ben Simmons and Danny Green for James Harden. You're saying
I'll get on my knees.
Yeah.
he's going to because he's going to get him for a steal because Harden's going to tell the Nets, and that's why there's that rumor that came out that other teams are prepared to look into collusion because they know James Harden and Daryl Morey have had conversations.
That's a good point.
Daryl's told James Harden, "Listen, bro, you're in a shitty situation. I have Joel Embiid. I can give you the best situation. Don't tell anyone I said this." Somehow somebody told someone, somebody said something, and now they're looking at collusion. The Nets are going to be in a shitty situation. They're going to have to choose because Harden's going to tell them, "I'm out, bro. Trade me at the trade deadline, or you're going to get nothing at the end of the season."
I also believe if the Sixers don't trade for Harden at the deadline and trade Tobias Harris, that might be another little hint that we're going to get Harden at the offseason.
Yeah, that's what I would do if I was the Nets. I would just ride the season out and be like, I'm not taking Danny Green's old fart.
Cool. So you get nothing.
Yeah, I would do that because
you're
I'm not
willing to
helping my
take-
rival out. I'm
You're willing to
riding.
You're
I'm
willing
right,
to take
but-
nothing, and the Sixers
No,
get
it's
Harden
not
anyway?
nothing. It's not nothing. You're taking a chance on KD and Harden in the playoffs, and you have a chance to win the chip. Does KD and Harden not give you a chance to win the Eastern Conference?
With the way that Harden wants to be there right now, which you need to keep into account.
But you're telling me KD comes back, and it's the same thing as the beginning of the year. You're telling me Harden's not going to buy in, and if he doesn't buy in, once again, why do I want him here?
Who says it's not too far gone?
What do you mean?
Who says Harden isn't at that place where he's like, dude, I'm done.
If
I'm
you
done.
let it go past the trade deadline, then you're banking on KD coming back and you're banking on Harden buying in again. I think that's a bigger risk.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
So
Hey.
what do you feel from your personal opinion? What do you believe is going to happen?
I don't think we're going to trade for James Harden because I think they're asking for more, and I don't think Morey's willing to do that. But I think
He's willing to do that.
I think if you get off the Harris contract, you could just sign Harden in the offseason.
You're the one that said that Morey's obsessed with big names, though. He's willing to do that. He's doing anything they want for James Harden.
Yeah, but I don't think
He's giving
Maxey-
Ben Thibault and 2 first-round picks for him. That's my
Oh,
prediction.
if it's that, then I'm cool with that.
I don't even think he'll do that. I think, dude, I genuinely think Morey believes like he's going to sleep at night and he's dreaming of Harden in a Sixers jersey, and it's real life to him. Like there's no.
He thinks other players don't exist. He thinks other players are random players. That's what he says.
He's 100% sold on the fact that Harden's going to be a Sixer.
I think it's happening. I think it's happening in a couple days, man.
I
We
think
just
so
got to
too.
deal with it.
I think
That's
so
fun.
too. I didn't believe it until tonight, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm done. I think so. I'm on board."
Listen,
That was
this little conversation debate thing was an amazing way to end the stream, and I'm gonna
That was
clip
so
that out.
fun.
I'm gonna clip that out and post it by itself because that was great. But it is 3:14 a.m.
Can I
because
call
the
out
game
someone in the
started
chat,
at 10.
please?
Yeah, please do, Ron.
Yo, hey, get off my please.
Who?
He's been on it all night. Just get off it. Call me a
Say his
hater.
name. Say his name.
Hey, get off my. His name is A. Get
I
off
thought
my.
you were I thought you were saying,
Yo,
hey.
I've been reading them,
Hey.
and every comment's just shitting on Rob.
All fucking night, bro. Oh my god.
You're usually pretty good at ignoring the chat though.
No,
Like you know
I
how
can't,
you
I
know
can't
how
take
the
it anymore. He's on it all night.
you know how
Holy
the chat is
crap.
on YouTube, bro. If I'm on an Eagles stream and I say Jalen Hurts sucks, oh, the chat is just you're an idiot. You're the dumbest person alive. And I'm like, whatever. Jalen Hurts sucks. What do you guys want me to tell you? He fucking sucks. I don't know you know what I mean?
No, but if A's listening, I don't mean it. I like it. I like the banter, but it's 3 a.m. and I'm pissed off. So because we lost. But it was fun. I just had to get that off my
I'm
chest.
here for it.
All right, there's still 200 in the chat. Hit the like button on your way out. I'm tired as hell. It's 10 o'clock. The game started at 10. We had a 2.5 hour basket break because the rim was crooked. And I can't even believe we did this post game live. So thank you, Greg, for coming in here. Thank you, Romp, for coming in here, man. It was fun. We'll do it again. Follow my guys. Go to the YouTube channels. Greg Melly. Go to Sixers Talk with Romp. A's going there. A's going to subscribe. He's going to be in the comments. And yeah, man, run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, and no intros. Wow, I'm so tired. It's unbelievable.
Unreal.
I put eye drops in before I came up here, and I still look like I'm on drugs. All right, boys. Thanks for coming through.
Peace, fellas.